Hi, I'm Ken Block. I am a professional rally driver. I also do rallycross and this thing called GYMKHANA. I'm also part of Team CBDMD, and we are here today in my Hoonigan Racing Headquarters, and I'm gonna give you a little tour. When we designed this place, we wanted this front area to really work well for entertaining, meeting, and working with sponsors, and even if they want to do a product launch, this would just be a great space for that. Including, we actually widened the front doors of the building so that we could roll cars into here. But in this front entertaining area, we have everything from a bar and a very large kitchen to a product display area that we display a lot of the companies that we work with, everything from DC Shoes to Monster and Hoonigan. On top of that, we have a very nice conference room that I actually spend most of my time in this conference room. My office is actually upstairs, but most of the time I'm in here. I'm typically working with either sponsors or employees on various projects that we're working on, so that room actually gets used about the most. But there are a couple nice features in here. Why don't you come on in? So we have a nice working space in here, giant table. Actually, you know, like I said, the base of this is made out of wheels from one of my race cars. We've made a nice display from GYMKHANA up on Pikes Peak, including one of the signs that they made us make to promote the National Forest up there. And even in here, we feature a bunch of awards and things that we've achieved over the years. Actually, some of the Telly awards that we've gotten, and even presentations of YouTube channel subscribers. I think we have a lot more than that, but that was a nice milestone, 1 million subscribers on YouTube. We have various different awards and trophies in here, but this one's actually one of my favorites. It was Summer X Games in 2012. I actually qualified in first place, but had a bad heat race. And we were racing Sebastian Loeb, who's the winningest rally driver in the history of rally. So I was competing against him, and he ended up winning, and I got second. And this was the wheel that went flat on me during the race, and I had to race on 3 wheels for more than half of the race. So I was pretty proud of that, so that's why we made this little display here. So we bought this trophy case years ago, and we seemed to run out of room years ago. We got everything in here from Rally America wins, even this, the Peterson Museum awarded me this in 2013 for inspiration. There's actually a photo right here on the wall from Collins Crest. So I've only raced in the WRC on studded tires once in my life, and it was in Sweden, and I ended up jumping the furthest 121 feet off this particular jump. So every year they award someone, so that's the award that I got for it, and that's the photo from it. And behind me is actually one of my favorite walls, which is the Ain't Care wall. The term Ain't Care is just kind of a funny term for us, but it means, like it says here, to strive to win at any cost with zero mechanical sympathy or regard for one's well-being. So in racing, you know, we'll have times where, you know, I may slide wide on a rally stage and hit a bank, and you get a puncture, and you have to make the decision, well, how many miles are left in the stage? Can I keep driving on this? And, you know, will I, you know, lose more time by having to stop and change that tire? Or will that tire coming apart destroy part of the car? Well, that particular one, I said, well, I don't really care about that corner of the car, and kept driving on it. It completely destroyed the corner of the car, but I only lost about 45 seconds on that stage because of that tire coming apart. So all these pieces tell that kind of story where we're out trying to win or do something fun like a GYMKHANA video, and we're trying to do it the best we can, either win or get the best placement that we can to try and win a championship. And so you have to have the Ain't Care attitude sometimes to make things happen the way that you want. All right, so this is the shop. So there's A lot of different equipment in here, mostly Fords, along with 3 Subarus. This kind of represents a big part of my overall racing career. And the Subaru, actually the 2 Subarus, the furthest over in the corner there, are 2 Subarus that mean a lot to me. One is the one I jumped, can't even remember how far I jumped it. I jumped it a long ways for a TV show called Stunt Junkies.
God. You overjumped that thing, dude.
And then next to that was the first GYMKHANA car that I had that we made a video called GYMKHANA Testing and Practice. And then the one next to that is the car that we created for doing the video GYMKHANA 2. Then over here we have 2 of my favorite cars that we've ever built, the Hoona truck and the Hoonicorn. So we'll start with the Hoonicorn because we built it first. So I had this idea years ago to take the modern technology that we have for running gear and suspension and tires and put it in something unexpected. So this is a 65 Mustang notchback. So we bought an old beat up car, took it, stripped it down, built it all up with brand new race equipment in it. But the biggest thing about it is the all-wheel drive systems in it are very similar to the ones that we use in our race cars. So it is the only performance all-wheel drive Mustang in the entire world. And then we took the similar concept to that and did it with a truck, which is a late 70s Ford F-150. So I grew up in one of these trucks. My dad had one when I was a kid. It's what I used to go to the dirt bike track in when I was a teenager. And it's the first truck or car that I got my hands on the keys and did a burnout and donuts with. So I have a big sort of connection with that decade and that specific year of truck. So we decided to take the same concept of what we did with the Hoonicorn and do it with a truck. Some of the cool stuff actually on this truck is obviously twin turbos sticking out of the hood, always cool. But this piece right here, which is the intake, that's actually 3D printed. So it's all metal, 3D printed, and this stuff itself, like this meshing it here, that would be impossible to try and mill or create in a mold, but by growing it all by 3D printing, you're able to do some crazy stuff. So over here we have 3 other cars. We have the RX-43, which is a car I've raced and won a bunch in global rallycross, and then also used for GYMKHANA 8 in Dubai and Terracana. So that's, compared to the Hoonicorn, that's really my second favorite car to drive. Just a lot of power, great handling. It just reacts and moves in an incredible way. So it was a great race car, a lot of success with it. But when it came to doing GYMKHANA, like everything that we did in Dubai, it just worked incredibly well. And this car here is we call it GYMKHANA 3 because it was built to do the video GYMKHANA 3. It was my first GYMKHANA car with Ford when I made the switch from Subaru to Ford. Custom built just for doing GYMKHANA out of a 4-door shell in Sweden. It was based off a rallycross car that a team called Olsbergs does. A guy named Andreas Eriksson, who's a former world rallycross driver, builds these cars, and he built this one specifically for me to go out and do GYMKHANA. And then this car here is a Ford Escort from the 70s. I think it's a 78. This is an iconic rally car from the 70s. 2-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive. They're just incredibly fun cars to drive. So it's done a couple GYMKHANA grids, a couple fun little videos with Hoonigan, and it's just been an incredible car to play with. And that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed the tour, and hopefully see you out there at the races.